All right. Hello, everybody. Again, I'm just gonna say Nate froze on me, but I'm gonna come
Yeah.
back just for me. Okay, you're good. And for the
No, I
viewers, it's
think you're
probably
freezing a
fine.
little bit. I think we're reaching the limits of what these video services are capable of. So,
Well, we're just too popular, too cool, and that's probably why.
sure, let's go
Yeah,
with that.
I'm gonna say that was buffering.
Okay.
That was the delayed
No,
response.
no. Yeah, let's go with
Yeah.
that.
So, we're back with another great Q&A because let me tell you this: the last one, Nate,
John.
44 views. And that was as of 2 days ago.
Wait. So, the one where my face was cut off
Yes.
for half of it,
Yeah.
you still posted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, it was great content.
We
I
had a we had a great conversation, and I think what we have to say is important. And
Is
so I
that the
posted that.
most views? Like, where does that rank with other people you've had on this?
Well, luckily for you, it's just you so far on this channel. Well, actually, I've done. Let me step back. This is the first time doing because of COVID, doing these like podcast style
Yeah.
Q&As. So you're the only one so far. Although sneak preview, hopefully, I'm trying to get my friend I lived with in LA, who's done some acting work, to do like let's talk about our year in LA. So sneak preview for people who
Ooh,
waiting for
way
that.
more exciting than my life in New Jersey.
Yes, true. It's and it's something. What was your question? I
I
got
don't remember.
distracted. Oh,
Oh, what's the rank
okay,
in
so this is on
terms
the
of
vlogs channel. Yeah, so I've done videos with our mutual friend Kenny at many of the national parks. No offense, Kenny, this has surpassed those big time.
ooh,
Um, and I just think it's the meaty conversations. And then um, the most viewed video on that channel, again, this is a great pitch for people to check it out, is when I toured Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank last summer. So feel free to check that out. That one has, this is high by my standards. That's at 35,000 views,
wow. Okay, that's a lot.
which is a lot. Now you compare this to my comedy channel, which I always say is sophisticated. It's not. I understand it's not for the
Right.
masses. It's kind of like
Top tier humor,
exactly.
highbrow,
Yeah.
right?
It's avant-garde comedy. So that one is consistently like 30 views per video.
Mm,
But
mm.
you know,
But if you
I'm.
add all of them up,
It is a lot.
it's a
It's
lot.
like 100. Oh, I seen that video with it's like 100 galaxies. I forget or planets.
There's
Hundreds of
nine.
stars.
No, he said when I was growing up, there were 9 planets, and he said now there's over 90.
90. So anyone check that out, Tim and Eric. So yeah, so it's doing pretty well. Thank you for doing part two with me. Hopefully more to come because we were so great and you love doing these, and also because um uh uh yeah, hopefully I'll see you in person at some point. Fingers
Oh
crossed
yeah.
for this vaccine, because then we can
Yeah,
start.
you
Yeah,
better you got to bring a certificate of vaccination, proof of vaccination from your doctor before you're allowed to see me.
ditto for me. I think the odds of you coming here and seeing me are much higher than me going out there to see you, given
That's
we're
true. That's true.
given my circumstances right now. But
Mm.
yes, I will have a certificate, and but I have to wait.
Actually, I wonder what are they like? Are they going to make people walk around with like some places will be like, show me proof of vaccination before you can enter into. I don't know.
Wait, are
It
they
sounds
really?
very like I don't know. It just it's untreaded territory, right? Like
The fact people can't wear masks correctly, sometimes at all, but
yes,
even when they do, this whole proof of vaccination is not gonna follow
yeah,
through. Yeah.
yeah.
So
People are gonna like write in crayon on like
yeah,
a piece of paper and
I wouldn't worry about it.
sign that after.
Right. Got a vaccine like misspelled
Yeah.
2 days ago. Everything's fine. Yeah. So fingers. Oh, and let me ask you this before we get into these questions. How was your Thanksgiving? Speaking of COVID.
It was good. It
Mm-hmm.
was my first vegan Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Mm.
How was that?
Actually, you'd be surprised. I mean, if you think about what you normally eat at Thanksgiving, it's really only the turkey that's like everything else can be made vegan super easily.
Well, except the mashed potatoes. I mean, it can be, but that's
Yeah,
usually
I
with
mean, you
milk.
don't, a vegan butter is like pretty much margarine anyway.
Hmm. So it's
Like
okay.
margarine's just made out of oil mostly. Like, So you don't notice. Honestly, it was pretty.
You really
It
did?
was very.
Okay. And what
I
was
enjoyed
what replaced the turkey?
we had it was like a field roast, which was like a puff pastry with like kind of like a dense soy based, I don't know, like veggies were mixed into it, but I don't know how to describe it. But it tasted good. It was
But it was
good.
good. Well, this actually sounds okay.
Yeah.
We did a small one, and it was a normal Thanksgiving. I shouldn't say normal. For all our vegan friends out there, that was the wrong. It was a traditional Thanksgiving, and it was like the households that see each other. So it's just my sister who's here because my nephew's here. So anyway, that was all like
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. She made almost everything. I was responsible for the olives, and so I brought some really great olives
Olives.
that I
Wow.
picked up at Target. Yeah.
What a responsibility. That's tough.
Thank you. It was tough, and they tasted great.
Yeah.
I think.
Definitely harder than like cooking the turkey or.
Oh yes. Well, because you got to like pick it out of the shelf. You got to wear a mask at the store. You got to,
Yeah.
do the whole process, check out at the store.
What a burden.
It was, but I did that, and I guess you shouldn't be surprised because we did a Friendsgiving, I think 3 years ago, if my Facebook memories are correct. Yeah, and it was kind of a disaster. And
a little bit of a disaster.
I guess because of the size of my house, we had it at mine, but I think
I'm
it was
trying to remember like what was disastrous about it. I
Oh,
remember there being a big thing about the turkey.
just everything. I think we brought the turkey out early because one of the guests insisted.
Yeah,
on
so
that.
that's what I'm starting to get
So
to.
that yeah.
Guest. Yeah.
Mhm.
How much can I say on this show? It's like...
I'm sure you could say names are fine because you know what, the odds
I
are.
don't even remember, to be honest, but I remember there being a guest who overtook the turkey situation, and it didn't end well.
It didn't end well. It ended with dancing in the evening that no one asked for.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
I remember that. Yeah,
Slow dancing. It wasn't me with you, just to clarify.
I should have just gone to McDonald's, to be honest. I think
it would have been better for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. And then I didn't have like much of the cooking, anything. Shock.
Shock.
I didn't have like a lot in my kitchen to cook with.
Right. Yeah.
So there's like frustration around that. And then I kind of gave up. And then I got yelled at about putting my hand down the garbage disposal by one of my friends, but I knew what I was doing. He thought like I was gonna like slice my hand. Like I didn't know. I kind of wish we recorded it. I think there's like a trimmed down, like happy version of that Thanksgiving on this channel because I filmed some stuff that day, but it was before all the kind of disasters went down.
Yeah. Well, if you find
check that out.
I'd love to look at it again.
I'll send it to you, Nate. I'll send it right after. It's on this vlog channel. It was.
I don't even say this vlog channel like I'm supposed to know where this ends up.
You're supposed to know. I have 2 channels. Can you name them? This is a good pitch for my viewers.
John's vlog channel.
Close. That's very close. It's John Brandt Vlogs, and that's where this video ended up.
I was on the nose. I was right there.
And then my other channel is, which you've been in. You've been in this, yeah.
Something about comedy.
So I should have put that in there.
John's
is what I have to say to your response. Which, by the way, that bounced back on the microphone back to my nose. So that was punishment.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was a little not rancid, but some lunch.
Beef jerky.
Some memories of lunch.
Little beef jerky.
No beef jerky at lunch. Okay. I actually had
salami.
No. What did I have? I had like a noodle bowl and 2 vegan taquitos. Because I don't know if I share this is like, let's just share a lot on this channel because why not? I forget if I shared this with you. Well, I had like blood tests for the first time recently. Did I share any of this with you?
I don't think
I'll share more in depth after we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, can you send me your medical records?
I'll send that. But latest thing is high cholesterol. So I have to like actually kind of similar to vegan. I cut back. Like I rarely eat dairy when I used to be a Domino's Pizza piece of the pie rewards member. Just me. Yeah. So most like all milk. Like I drink oat milk now, which I don't drink a ton of it, but I have that as a replacement. Yeah, and it's good.
Yeah. Hard to cook with. But, so usually if you want to cook with it, or I would say go for almond milk is probably the best thing to cook with.
This is good to know. I've only begun slightly dabbling in cooking. I'm still mainly sticking to the microwave right now, but I'm gonna get there. But I don't eat meat a ton anymore. That was part of it too, and especially things like beef. Never really eat beef anymore, sadly. But if you come out here, I will go to In-N-Out. I'll make an exception. And then
Well, thank you
pork
for
and
that.
things, of course, yeah. But it's funny, like what I used to eat compared to before
Oh
this
yeah,
blood
I
test,
know.
because I
Oh yeah. I mean, same. Like if I think before we even, yeah, like before we even started changing our diet, I was like, wow, I ate worse than this, and like I still feel bad when I like, you know, have those slip ups or it's like late at night and I'm like, I just want a McDonald's
right,
cheeseburger right now. You know, you get those cravings, but like, it's crazy to think that it was way more normal before,
yes,
and that's bad. That's like
yeah. The best part
American
is,
101.
I mean, and I should have realized this. I couldn't I legitimately would like lose my breath tying my shoes, and that should have been a sign that it was time to lose some weight. But it wasn't. And it took this blood test as a wake up call. Now I can easily do that. And even the cat stretch, the yoga stretch
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
you like I would like my stomach, I'd like press my gut before
Mm,
losing weight, and because of like eating way better and exercising way more, which is all part of this.
right, right.
And anyway, night and day.
Yeah, well, good for you. I
Well,
I
thank
still
you.
have to. I haven't figured out the exercise part, especially
Mm,
being at home. Like I
right,
used to, my long commute forced me to like walk. Actually, now I don't
right.
walk, so I literally sit up here. I sit right here for
Yeah.
like hours on end. I don't move. I don't get up.
It's okay. And I'll share this with our listeners too. I already mentioned this in my Why I'm Leaving California video, which is the latest upload on this channel. Uh, I am not currently working. I quit my job. And when I was working, even working from home or in early COVID, because I quit during COVID, yeah, so much more sitting. And like this
Yeah,
lifestyle has been great. I get like, I just realized, I mean, I'm up and moving. The most I'll sit is like 30 minutes, like straight. And then I'm already, just because of living life,
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. But
Right.
the exercise helps a ton. And then my doctor's latest thing was get exercise. I'm gonna sneeze.
Do it.
No, it went away. We'll see.
One,
I know.
two.
Right into the mic. My doctor's latest thing was exercise shortly before dinner to help with sleep too, because I was having some sleep problems. And so anyway, I started doing that, and all of this has helped a lot. I go on long walks a lot, listen to podcasts while I walk sometimes, and it's great. And I don't want to embarrass you, but if you recall, I tried to exercise with you when you were
Oh
living in
yeah, that was
California.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, for reference, I basically almost passed out.
Yeah. And for
And
reference, I
like
left you there
that wasn't the
and
yeah,
went
oh
for a
yeah.
run while you were nearly
Yeah, so
dying.
we're like doing we're like hit exercises a little bit, right? So high intensity, a little like up and down. Like I feel like we are doing burpees at one point, and burpees never end well.
Well,
But like
they
I
usually do.
well, so for some, for
They're kind of a
somebody
standard
who
thing.
for
Yeah.
somebody who would actually work out for sure. But this was like we're talking about me here, right?
I know, but I was trying to do a beginner's version. I took like all the YouTube videos I do, all the online videos, and I was taking fitness classes at work at the time. I was trying to combine kind of like not the easiest of things, but like I'd say easy to medium. Maybe that was my
Yeah, no,
mistake. Like
something
you're in
was
the
clearly
medium.
wrong with me. Right? Well, anyway, I like was feeling super lightheaded, and I remember laying on my back, just thinking, "Oh God, I'm gonna pass out." And then John comes over. He's like, "Are you okay? You don't look so good." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go for a run."
Yeah.
And 15 minutes later, you show back up. So
Yeah. So you were fine.
I here I am. I'm
I
well.
think the lesson is if your friend seems like they're almost dying, you can leave them and you can come back and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I got in a little trouble with your wife on that one. But look, here we are.
Here we are.
I knew what I was doing. But no, yeah, the exercise is really good. I forget where this started. I know I talked about my blood test, but we eventually got into.
Yeah,
You said you don't move. You
oh
said
yeah,
you're in that
I
spot.
don't
Yeah.
I mean now
Mm,
it's just work takes up way too much time, right? Like
mm,
there's no separation like there used to be. Like before, I feel like especially because I had to like catch a ferry, which then
Yes.
there's a set
There was a
schedule
lot.
there.
There was a lot of commuting. I
Right.
did your commute one day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And because of the schedule, like you can't miss time windows, right? Like if you walk out of the
Right.
door like 5 minutes late, that could cost you 50 minutes.
Yeah. I don't
It
want to make you
forces
feel bad, but I was kind of under the same pressure and I still exercised.
Okay.
Because I had to,
It's
because
just
my difference was Bay Area traffic before COVID was horrendous.
Sure.
So I had to be out my door by 7:25. That made a big difference. And then I had to catch a shuttle with my latest job before I quit. So I had to always make sure I caught that one. And
No, but I was
yeah.
actually saying that I feel like that was helpful because it
Oh
forced you
yeah,
to stop,
the
right?
structure. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay. Yeah.
structure, the fact that like somebody tries to schedule a meeting at 7 p.m. and I literally couldn't take it because I was still on the ferry coming home.
That's true.
So stuff like that helped. But now it's just like all over the place.
Well, I would start telling people you're an essential worker and you're taking commutes back and you can't take meetings.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that'll totally work.
It won't work.
At all. No. And you're in New Jersey, which you mentioned earlier, and the news is going all over the place with this. And granted, in California, as of Sunday, we're back on basically April level now
Oh,
in
perfect.
this area. Yeah, so we are
I actually
purple
don't-
tier. I don't know if the tiers are all the same. I forget the colors and all these numbers, but all I know is basically they're like only go outside if you need to for like groceries and exercise. Like let's go back to that. We
Yeah,
close, like
let
the
me.
restaurants are closed. And I could have sworn I read
Oh, yeah,
Jersey
we're
is
above. Whoa, yeah,
like
we're
among
above.
the worst right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely above April levels. So this is the highest we've been.
So be careful out there. I
Yeah.
maybe just sit in that chair all day after all, for your sake.
Looks like my county's not doing too bad, but
That's good.
yeah,
Are you on the same like is it the color tiers?
I don't think so.
Because we're in purple tier, whatever
Where do I
that means.
find it?
Because it's only California. Is this it's so hard to keep
Color
track.
zones.
Yeah.
Um, what color are you? You're purple.
We're purple.
Was
I
that?
didn't know what we were. I think we were yellow before, which was like things were kind of opening up again. We had like museums open and like,
Oh yeah,
and we're back to like almost nothing again.
I can't find. Maybe that's a California thing.
Yeah, they're pretty strict here, but my friend who never will see this is so unaware of what's going on. And so he was with his wife in the Bahamas, which had a massive shutdown. Okay, so he's doing a tour of the U.S. during this whole thing, which
Oh great, yeah.
some people are doing that, but I just am
Fantastic
like,
idea.
I've basically been here, and my main outing is like once a week to Target, basically, and
Yeah.
even that I like rush through. So he's been going all over, and so he saw like Mount Rushmore, and like no one had masks, of course. So then, he's been all over the
Mount
U.S.
Rushmore's what, South Dakota?
South Dakota, which is I think one of the worst states right now too.
Yeah.
So he calls me on Sunday, and him and his wife are coming back from the Bahamas, which had a massive shutdown where like they're eating cereal for dinner. And they even asked like, "Do you want to join us at our Airbnb?" And I'm like, have you guys read any of the any of the news? Because like all of our friends canceled, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder why. Anyway, they drive back up from Florida. They're like, "Hey, we're going to New Orleans. Have you been there?" And they're all excited. And I'm like, I could have sworn I just read that's like one of the worst hot spots right now.
Right.
Like And they were like, "What?" And they looked it up, and it was. And I guess we have to just sit in the French Quarter. I'm like, yeah, sorry to burst I wouldn't travel if I were you, but to each their own. Anyway, he'll never see this. And I already told him that to his face. Anyway. All right, I'll get to these great questions because I know the viewers are dying to know.
Are they?
Yeah. We're using Skype. Hopefully this is working. My podcast that I do with some other friends.
I feel like it's a little choppy, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping the recording is.
I think the recording's okay. And knock on wood, the podcast I do with my friends, we exported it and it just cut the sound for about 15 minutes. No matter who tried to download the file. So you and I just spot checked last time, and the 40 plus viewers show it was fine. So
Good.
fingers crossed. So here we go. We'll just get right into these. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let me clear my throat
Yeah.
and hang on, a little water.
There you go. It's okay. You can even drink during it. That's what I've been doing. All right, here we go. Where would you like to live someday?
It's an interesting question. And I feel like my answer to this is probably going to be boring.
Well, I feel like mine is too. So go ahead. It's all right. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'd like to live. No, I was gonna say Colorado.
I
So
haven't been, but for someone like I would love it. I feel like
yeah, that was
well,
the one place
hiking
where
and
like I visited a bunch. Every time I go, like I get this feeling that, you know what, I could live out here. I could enjoy it.
yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot of like I feel like if you consider the activity spectrum of people, right, like the outdoorsiness, like that type of person, Colorado has like they're on the one extreme, right? Where literally everybody, you're like shamed if you don't go outside on the weekend or something, right?
Right.
And you
But
don't,
you used to get that from me. So
yeah, but not to the same extent where it's like it's a cultural phenomenon that
yeah,
everybody
no, that's
goes
true. That's
like
true.
everybody's like a marathon runner. Everybody is like a professional like biker and goes through mountains and hiking and rock climbing and literally everybody does this stuff like nonstop.
Hmm.
At least that's how I
Sounds
feel.
great.
Yeah, it
Right, but
sounds.
it's probably not everybody. But yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
know some relatives out there, and I can promise it's friends of relatives. I promise you that is not the case. But yeah,
At least in Boulder, that's the way it feels.
okay, I can see that. This person's in Fort Collins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be different. But no, I don't know. Like other than that, I'd probably move back to the Bay, maybe.
Hmm. Come
I
back before I leave.
probably not.
I know it's probably true. It's very like okay. So but California again.
Yeah,
You were
I
into
think
yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, while I'm here, we'd love to have you back, as I've said many times.
Yeah. It's just like it's too much. Like moving is too much. Like I don't know. I've
It
always
is
thought about like when I was younger, I thought, oh, like first chance to live in a other like foreign country, just go do it.
right.
I like
It's a
visiting,
lot. It's a lot
but
of people. It's a lot of
living
bureaucracy. Yeah,
living is a whole different scenario.
it
And
is. And America is one of the two countries you still pay income tax unless you in your new country, even if you're employed there, unless you renounce your citizenship. I think it's like
yeah,
us and like Liberia or something. There's like two countries that do that.
nice.
So we lucked out.
Up there with the best.
Oh yes, yeah, we're in a lot of good lists. So those are the two then you'd say.
Probably. So I've always envisioned though that I have this like plan that when I retire, I could go back to like farmland of Pennsylvania, I think.
No, that's all right. You're about to laugh like I'm gonna make fun
Or
of you, but that's if that's what you, yeah.
what I did find is in upstate New York, it's much more of a
Mm.
progressive place. So it's
Is
not
it?
like it's not like the
Oh,
backwards woods of where I grew up, right?
right,
Like, get off my lawn.
right.
Um, so it's not that, but it's still farmland, right? It's and beautiful
Yeah,
up in upstate. So maybe upstate New York.
yeah. It is very
I
nice.
know I
I had
listed
it.
like 4 different places, even though I was supposed to pick one. But
That's all right though. You have a lot on your mind with these. I had a relative in Skaneateles. That was a nice area. Have you been
I've
there?
never been
Small
there.
town up in.
We
I
went
don't
to
even know where in the state it is, but it's up there. You got to
Okay.
go up,
Yeah,
upstate, as they say.
upstate.
Pretty
There's
good
a
how I
lot.
knew that, huh?
There's a lot of upstate. Like it's a big state.
Yeah, it's almost entirely upstate.
Anything that's not New York City is upstate.
Right. And it really is like two states in that regard. But
Yeah.
okay, well, mine will not survive. I'm gonna like for like top of mind for me right now, and I mentioned that I'm gonna pitch my why I'm leaving California video again. Check it out on my channel. Which is my vlog channel is Nate. Go ahead.
Um,
Wow.
John's fun time videos, home
Anyway,
videos.
I pay you way too much to treat me like this.
Yeah, about that. The last check didn't clear, so I don't know what's
Oh,
going on.
oh, you have to contact. I'll send you that number.
Okay.
Payroll. Yeah, I would say Oregon is like my nearest top of mind because I'm gonna probably do that because I have like family there, and
That's cheating.
that's
Like,
yeah. So that's like what I'm thinking of near term, and then I like toyed with this idea, but I don't know if I would love it. I had family. My family's originally from Hawaii. I do love going there. It's a very expensive state, but apparently it's the happiest state. According to many lists, it's the happiest, despite
but
it's very expensive.
isn't
I
there
think
like
people live
yeah,
the longest there.
very, isn't there a very bad like homelessness problem?
Oh, there, yeah. On
Right.
yes, I know on Oahu for sure.
Right.
But not every like it's like pockets. But so I thought about, it, but then I was like, you're on an island, and before COVID, I mean, I really do like to travel,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge Disneyland fan, and I'm just dying inside that it's closed, and I'm like, I couldn't even. It'd take 5 hours to get to a Disney park from there, versus Oregon's like 2 flight
Yeah.
wise. And
Also,
then
5 hours to get to the smaller Disney park. So, and then a bunch more hours to get to the bigger one. So,
right, yeah, for you guys.
from Hawaii.
Oh, from what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, to Florida
Yeah.
would take
Yeah.
forever. So, but I've like thought of that, and then same thing with you, like, so for that's kind of like for the U.S. And then, sometimes I even thought Arizona briefly, but it gets so hot.
Yeah, I've thought that too.
I hike it, and it's so fun when I'm hiking. And I'm like, this is the desert. And as I mentioned in every video where I'm hiking, when I do those videos, I'm like, this looks like another planet, which Kenny made fun of me for that because I've said it like 100 times, but it does.
Yeah. I have a bunch of friends in Phoenix, and yeah, it's one of those things where like every time I visit, it's like, wow, this is great. Like, seems like a cool city, well
Right.
planned, right? A lot
There's
of
cacti.
decent housing options. It's not through the nose like it is in the Bay Area, but then I get the Snapchats in the middle of like July and August where
Yeah.
it's like 125 degrees, and yeah, no.
And it's just getting warmer too. A lot of it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
of
And the
course,
extremes too, because it's so dry, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, it is a desert. Yeah, it's like 30 degrees at night and then 90 degrees in the day, and I don't know. That's
Right.
I don't know how to plan for that, you know?
Right. Agreed. It's just you can't step outside, you'll die.
Yeah.
And I like being outdoors. So that's part. I have to live somewhere where it's warm enough. I say warm enough because even Oregon's gonna seem cold to me. But at
Sure, it's gonna
times,
be cold.
yeah, because it hits like 40s, 30s, sometimes 20s.
It was snowing today.
Really?
Yeah.
We are having. There's a massive high pressure that's just not going away. It was 72 today. I think.
Nice.
It was. These last 2 days have been warm. Yeah, I was like, this is not
Well,
good.
the past few Christmases for us here have been in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's the new trend.
I know, and I'm like, this is like, I'm not excited about it because I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But every
Yeah,
chart, we mentioned this in our
36
last
right
discussion.
now,
It's just that global warming is just, how much is it? It's 36.
Well, global warming isn't real, right?
Well, of course not. Yeah, ask like
And
a
the
lot
Earth
of
is flat.
people. Yes, absolutely. Wait, is
Cool.
36 there?
Yeah, it's 36. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a normal-ish, but then it's going to get warm. It's going to get up to 55 apparently, which in December, like here,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like 30s.
And it's so funny because like I'll wake up here because it still gets cold in the morning, and it was like 38 this morning here, and you feel like it's absolutely freezing. Like we're just such wimps in California. But then like I said,
Well,
it just heats up.
The thing is, nobody has like a real jacket, right? Like everyone's got
No.
like
And I even have
windbreakers
this.
and
Look at
sweatshirt.
this little
Yeah,
sweater.
like no, that's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that's a sweatshirt that you wear around the
Right.
house.
Right.
You need like a winter jacket.
Yes, and Kenny never listens to this. And I keep mentioning Kenny, and people are like, "Who's Kenny? Check out the channel. Lots of videos." Yeah, he always. I've told him this story 1,000 times. I brought California jackets to London in their coldest March in 50 years, and that was a
Great
mistake.
job.
But I made that story very short because Kenny said I've said it 10,000 times to him. So in the 0.001% chance he watches this, I made it short.
I made the mistake of going to. I was in Hawaii. We're on the Big Island.
Mm.
And we went to the volcano, like the national park, right?
Yes.
And I feel like somebody told us, or people were saying, like it's cold there, so like pack a sweatshirt. And I was like, yeah, you guys are just wimps. It was actually cold. It was cloudy.
It gets cold.
Like 50 degrees, 54 degrees. It was like low 50s.
Yeah. No, I believe the Big Island has
Yeah,
various temperatures.
I was
You,
wearing like
you drive-
shorts and a t-shirt, and I was freezing.
Yeah, it does very good warning for people visiting Hawaii for the first time. The Big Island. A lot of people are even confused. There's multiple islands. I was up until 8th grade, which I should have known with family there. But yeah, no, it does. There's like tons of microclimates on that island.
That's crazy.
So this is how we learn. All right, next question. Who's the most famous person you've met? Okay, I feel like you're gonna say me
No,
because of my
that
YouTube
was
channel.
even close. There was a guy. I'm trying to. So the funny thing is, I have this memory of meeting somebody famous and like getting a picture with them and maybe even their autograph, but I have no
Mhm.
idea who it is.
Were you a kid?
I was 16,
Yeah. Okay. So not really. Was it Bill Nye?
maybe like that.
That's
That's
who comes
what's
to mind because you said a
the
guy.
I
Oops. And I was like,
was. I think I was like touring the MIT campus or something.
hmm.
And there was like I think there was somebody that was like presenting, and at the end of their presentation or something, I walked up and like met them and shook their hand, and like I have this vivid memory of that being in that auditorium, but I have no idea who it is. So
Can you? Well, try to find that before our next chat, and we'll
yeah,
share
I
it.
mean, I'll. It's
Apparently,
not
he
like
was
my
so.
parents save anything from my childhood, so it's
I,
not like they have the picture.
I know that might need to be its own discussion one day. Oh, I think there's more
There's a
there.
lot to
Yeah,
unpack
I think
there.
there's a lot. We got to make sure like every like Skype or whatever you use is gonna work for like a few hours that day.
Yeah.
Um, so my person, so I alluded to this earlier. Sorry, my headphones are too tight in my ear where I can only hear my own echo. I lived in LA, trying to be in the entertainment industry, trying to get my own TV show,
Ooh, yeah.
bright eyed and
Fancy.
bushy tailed. This is in 2005, 2006. So God only knows how old you were. Like, I don't even want to know.
Was I
I
walking then yet? That's the
Well, that was still a recent. Yeah. So I just moved there, and um, I did see a few celebrities when I was there, like out and about, but barely. Especially because I lived in Burbank, which is a little more like suburban. But one of the days I was hiking Runyon Canyon, which is a famous like place people hike there. It's kind of near Hollywood. And then there's this woman ahead of me walking her dogs, and then people kept pointing to her and like, "Hey, hey, it's you!" And this is pre-social media, so no one took a picture with her.
right, right.
Whereas of
Because
course
what are
now
you gonna
everyone
do
would,
with it?
right,
Yeah.
right. So you would your flip phone like all
Yeah.
pixelated and then share it on MySpace, I guess. Uh,
Zanga.
yeah, exactly. These things are all very fresh in my mind. That's how old I am. So anyway, I'm eventually like, who is this? She turns around and I'm like, oh, it's Queen Latifah.
Oh
So
wow.
I asked her what breed her dog was. She was friendly. She kind of smiled, said hi. She told me the breed, and I was like, "Oh my god, Queen Latifah is talking to me." I didn't, and this is royalty. And I forget what she said, and I was like, "Okay, cool. See you." It was like big
Okay,
gulp,
cool.
huh?
Yeah.
See you later. That same hike. Do you have you seen the show How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, but a long, long time ago.
Okay. Well, that same hike, I ran into the main star, like the Ted Mosby guy.
Oh, really?
That same day.
Was he? Was that show out then? I can't remember.
It was.
Okay.
Yes. And that's how I knew him. So I was like, oh, wait. And then I was just so thrown off. I didn't even say hi. He like looked right at me and I should have said hi
Nice.
because he
Yeah.
didn't really hit it huge after that. No offense, Josh Radner, if you're watching this, which you're not. And then I'm just naming the three celebrities I saw after all, but I think Queen Latifah is the most famous. Then the last one I saw but I've met. Never mind. That was it
Yeah, I was
because I
gonna
didn't
say
meet.
because if we're doing people that we've
So
seen,
I saw
I
Will Ferrell.
saw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wolf Hour. That's pretty good. I saw. I was walking home from work. This is just like a year ago. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mm,
He was just so there's like a on Wall Street where I walk home from work. There's this place that always seems to have like big events, big like it looks like fundraisers or something where people
mm-hmm,
come in. There's kind of like a mini red carpet that they set up, and there's always like tons of
mm.
press. But I always walk by when it's like they're setting up for it, right? So I never see people coming up and down the red carpet. But Neil deGrasse Tyson was there like early or something, and he was just like standing outside, just talking to random people on the street. He was just like kind of hanging
Wow.
out, and I just like passed him. I didn't say anything,
Oh,
but
I
I
know
was
it's
like,
hard.
it was like what? I was just on my way home, and I was like, what? Who?
Right. It's
That
hard in
guy?
those moments. It is hard because even before social media again, and he's more like higher up than the next person. I'll say I saw Winnie Cooper. You ever see the Wonder Years? You're too young for the Wonder Years. You heard of it?
Ooh, I'm gonna Google this, and I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
with
it's
Fred
gonna be.
Savage and takes place in the '60s. But it was filmed in the late '80s, early '90s, but it takes place in the '60s,
Yeah,
which I feel like late '80s.
1988. So I wasn't
Yeah.
born then.
Well, I was only 5, so it's not like I was that old. But
It's got great reviews.
it's a good show.
Okay.
You should check it out. It's like a memories show type of, but like a dramedy. Um, the girl he has a crush on in the show. Her name was Winnie Cooper. She's on tons of Hallmark movies now.
Okay. Hallmark
Saw
still
her
a
at a
thing?
cafe. Oh yeah. Her name is Danica McKellar. So
Gotcha. Okay.
those are
Yeah.
my. I saw her when I was working at the animation company I did in LA. So kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big
And then you
I
can
feel like when
you
you're in LA though, you're bound
it's
to
true.
have so
I
many
but
of those.
just for
run-
those 3, I thought I'd run into more for a
Yeah,
living.
that's
Like a
true.
little over a year I was there, but
Yeah.
not. But again, you have me. You can always use me if this comes up as a fun question and like a icebreaker or something, and then just pitch my YouTube channels.
Yeah. Oh
Try
wait,
to
one
get
more.
them right.
One more. Katy Perry.
Oh, that's a big one.
But we didn't see her. So
Oh.
Katy Perry was one where we were at somebody's wedding. It was like in the middle. It was like this random hotel in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Right? Like not a big place. And we're at like the Marriott or something. And the bride and groom had the honeymoon suite for like after their wedding. Well, the management staff came to them and said, "There's someone who needs to stay like a little bit longer in that suite, and so can we put you up in this other room, and we're going to give you all of this stuff." And like part of it was that whoever this person was going to pay for a brunch for everybody in the wedding party, and like pay for all of this stuff basically. And so they're super secretive about it, who it was. So of course they accepted and whatnot. But I think it was that night we come back like hammered. It was like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something. And one of the like girls sees Katy Perry walking with like 4 security guards around her towards the room. And so, she kind of like quietly goes off and starts freaking out. And then everyone like found out, but she ended up like one of them like wrote some note to her.
Oh.
Very drunkenly saying how much she loved Katy Perry and whatnot.
Right.
So then she like slipped it under the door, but they had like a secret entrance apparently that she was going in and out of, like not going through the front door. So yeah, it was all very in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So
yeah, well, and you've corrected me on this. I always say Lancaster, as I think most of the U.S. does.
Lancaster.
But apparently it's Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Oh, I hate you so much. Okay, this one is very applicable to me. If you had to quit your job to chase a dream, what would it be?
Ooh. I have a lot of things for this. I've been thinking about quitting. I mean, I can't, but I've been thinking about it.
You can. Don't if you want inspiration.
Let's see. I've got a couple things. Video games. That's my dream.
But you mean like just playing them all day?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No, okay. Just wondering. I just want to. I didn't know if you wanted
Twitch streaming could be fun. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. You
Maybe
could do that with
the
ASMR.
Yeah, like some game development. I don't know, just like hanging out, like kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, that would be nice. That's okay. That's fine.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
Is that the main thing? I thought there was more. Okay,
there's some thought into like. This actually sounds pretty terrible, but there's like I have this rosy picture of like owning like a big farm.
Yes. Yeah.
But then I think about that I have to wake up every morning and like go work on the farm and like keep these animals alive and stuff, and that sounds like a whole chore, and I don't like chores, so maybe I just pay people to do it, and then I just get to wake up and I'm like on this like beautiful farm with all of these nice animals. Maybe that's the life.
There you go. You can do it. I read a book about people who started a farm. They were corporate before and they loved it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Granted, it wasn't easy, of course, and they're like, you can't just do this, but yeah, that could be. Yeah. Mine is not video game. I'm not into video games.
I didn't know that about you, John. Huh?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Mine would be. This is gonna shock you. I told you. I said this before, but I wanted to do TV before before online took off as it has. So I still would like to do that. I wanted to always be like a personality on TV. And that's why we're doing this right now, and that's why I like force friends and family to make me live my dream. Uh, but yeah, so I wanted that, and doing like the comedy videos. Love doing those. Kevin does too. He just doesn't get back to me a lot of the time, but he loves it. But no, I wanted to do more of that. Even being in a movie, anytime I watch like DVD extras of things, which I've been doing during this pandemic. Yes, DVDs. I know, ancient, but you know what? The internet has been going down a lot lately, so
Yeah.
I'll do that. Everyone just has so much fun. They're interacting, and this is what I didn't like about previous jobs. A lot of the time was the lack of interaction. Like I like interacting with people, but
Yeah.
it's like you just said. I like interacting with them in a fun way. I don't want to always interact with them with like, hey, let's do this spreadsheet together.
Right.
So I see them like doing these shows and things, and they were just having so much fun. And you had a blast when we filmed my comedy videos.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I
Yeah, but
remember.
yeah, you had a
Vivid
blast.
memories.
Yeah. I'm actually a very nice director, for anyone wondering. But I see that and I'm like, that would be super fun. And the problem was when I first went to LA, and I'll talk about this with my friend from LA too, was you need money. You're young. Unless you're really not afraid of like not having money for a long time, you want to pursue the acting thing. And unless you look like a model, which this will shock people, I don't, or didn't qualify, even starting with height, we won't go down this path. It'll make me cry. But it's hard. It's extremely hard to break into. So YouTube came along like as I was in LA. They actually launched while I was down there, and I wouldn't mind if my stuff took off on YouTube too. I would love if it did great. That would mean a lot to me too. But I just like having fun. It's like you just said, having fun with friends with things like this. And I see like these friends who make movies together, and I'm talking even like. So I've been watching Freaks and Geeks a lot lately again because I have those DVDs, and all those people make movies together still. And like Adam Sandler just puts his friends in everything, and that's what I would do, Dave.
Yeah.
Like, even though you don't want to be an actor, you would just be in everything.
Yeah,
You get like
that's
residuals, which
fine.
would be nice.
Yeah, that's
you
great.
can pay
I
for the
mean,
farm.
Right.
But that was always the dream, and that's why I've always kind of struggled with just staring at a monitor all day.
I feel that.
Yeah. So, and I just have to interact with people. I can't just work on a. Some people are very introverted, and they love working on, and that's great. And they're usually like very STEM minded, which you are, I would say. But
yeah, I can go in and out of it. Like I do like, I am very independent in that way. Like I could sit down and like code for hours on end and really enjoy it, but I would never like give up that other part of the job of like interacting with other people.
Yeah.
So like there's people who physically like cannot interact with them.
No.
Right? Like
I've worked with them, and it's true.
There's a
And
lot of
they
them
want
at
to be in
work,
their yes, and they want to be in their own world, and that's why I was just like, as I explore whatever I do next, whatever that is, which this is what's going on in the meantime, everybody. Yeah, I want a little more of that. I was debating. I did improv with groups. I don't know. I might do something like that again when this is all done. And it's a great way to just, you're like forced to interact with people too.
Right.
I even thought like, dare I do community theater? I don't want a big role in it. I just want like a few lines, but I thought it'd be fun to like meet people who like acting too. I like acting a lot.
I used to do community theater.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did. So I actually had a friend in high school who he had graduated already, but he was big into theater, and he wanted to be he wanted to do it all. Like he was writing the scripts. He was
that's like what
casting himself in the part, right? Like he was directing the whole thing.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. He did it all. And so we did like every year we did a production at just like the local theater.
Oh.
Yeah, and I did that like I think 4 years or something. It was a lot of fun.
Well, this is why you were such a great actor in my videos.
Yeah,
you never said mine were fun, but I'm going to assume you thought so. I had a very relaxed environment. There was not even a script.
Yeah, there was no script.
It was just ideas. What I like about acting too, and I'm gonna probably say this when my friend and I talk, is I like things like, because my mind's always just going, where you actually have to focus, which this is making me do too, because I'm recording this.
Right.
Versus thinking about like worrying or like other things, or I should be doing this. You have to like hone in. So even when I did my videos with Kevin, I'm like trying to think of lines. Granted, I'm a horrible listener because I'm trying to think of lines, and I caught that as I edit. I'm like, Kevin said a good line. I should reply to that. But I like being in a zone like that. And that's why when we did bowling too, all those things where you're like, you have to be in a zone, and acting
Right.
does that. So I actually really enjoy acting, especially if it's improv acting, where it's because the script I think would give me anxiety.
Right.
But we're in my videos, as I said, I don't know, it's just kind of nice it because you're like you're in
Yeah, because
that
with a
world, and
script, there's
that's
a lot
it.
of like work outside of the acting portion of
Yeah,
it.
and there's
You're like,
memorization for the
right,
actors.
memorization, learning the lines, right? Like,
Yes.
and getting it perfect, exactly how it should be scripted, as opposed to just kind of like feeling it out. There's a shoot, I watched this improv special, and I can't remember who was in it on Netflix.
Oh,
That was absolutely hilarious. I'll have to look it up, but I'll send it to you.
please do. And I owe you our Thanksgiving video. I haven't forgotten. And then you'll be like, "What's this channel?" Or let's do a couple more just for the sake of time. I know it's late on the East Coast. Um, all right, here we go. Just two more. What indulgence would you enjoy if there were no con? Well, I'm laughing 'cause I
No,
think
wait,
your
what was
answer.
the last
I'm,
part?
I'm laughing because I feel like I know your answer. What indulgence would you enjoy if there were no consequences? I could be
Actually, I'm
wrong.
curious why you're laughing. Because
I
is it McDonald's?
I'm thinking it's McDonald's. Is
No,
what you're gonna say?
um,
I thought it might be.
this one's tough. Like I don't know that there's I mean, I enjoy like taking that time to like not do anything and just sit around and play video games all day, but at the same time, it gets old really fast. So like I I do that on some breaks or something, but
Right.
then I just walk away like, wow, I just wasted my life. So I feel like if you could remove that as a consequence,
Okay, like that
you know
feeling
what I mean?
of
Yeah, that feeling of like regret and
yeah.
shame and remorse, then I think that's a good.
Yeah, we might need to unpack this one day too.
Oh yeah,
uh,
I'll do that with my therapist. Don't worry.
okay, good. Well, yeah, we could do both. No, that makes sense. It's just a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I was thinking more food, of course, as we talked earlier in this podcast, especially of all the things I've like either slowed down or stopped eating. And I had to give up pizza, like I mentioned.
Mm-mm.
So I
That's
would go
hard.
back to how I was eating it before. It's just like no consequences. I used to get those because Domino's, it's all basically the same thing. I used
Yeah.
to get the knots, their version of garlic knots, which they use the same bread for like
Right,
their
right. It's
cinnamon
the
buns, and
right,
yeah,
right.
I'd eat the garlic. I could tell it was so bad for me as I'm eating this. Like you can do the oils and everything, and
Yeah.
like my
I
results
mean,
were
you
not a
see it on the
shock.
box. You
You
see
see
it on the
it and you
box.
taste it so much.
Yeah,
Like you can feel the
yeah.
sensation of like this is a lot of oil. And I should have realized, now that I'm 37, like maybe slow it down with like oils and things. Like this is not good for
Right,
arteries. I mean, you're roughly the same age, but
right. Of course.
yeah. Now, because there's only a decade now, because you had your birthday. We're not at 11
Right.
years.
Yeah, we're not at
Yeah,
11. Yeah.
so we're only a decade off. But yeah, that it'd be pizza, big time. I don't need it anymore because the cheese.
What's confusing to me though is that you've lived off of California pizza your whole life, which
Mm-hmm.
is it's not a thing. There's a reason that it's not a thing.
But
It's not good.
yeah, but Domino's is nationwide.
Okay, so Domino's is Domino's, right? I wouldn't call it pizza so much
It's
as
like its own
Domino's. You
thing,
know what
and
I
I
mean?
think that's what I was obsessed with.
Okay, yeah. It's its own class of things. I
Yeah,
can appreciate it every now and then,
right.
but there's just something about a good slice
Mm-hmm.
from like your local pizzeria over here on the East Coast, New York.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
I know. I can never have it again. I'll have to get like a cauliflower pizza with no cheese in Manhattan, wherever they would have that in Manhattan, Chelsea.
yeah, maybe some
Yeah,
hipster place, maybe.
yeah. So I think that's my best bet. It's very sad. I miss pizza.
I'm sure you'll find some place in Soho that's like, yeah,
Yeah, we'll go there when I bring my documentation.
it's like $50 for the pizza or something. It's this
Right.
big.
Yeah, and you're like starved after. Like it
Yeah.
did nothing. We'll end with this. What's your most prized possession?
Hmm. My most prized possession. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I had to think. I cheated and thought about this before.
I'm not very sentimental with things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't carry things from like I don't know. I don't have something that like reminds me of some like memory or something that I like carry from place to place that I move. I mostly just like get rid of shit.
Yeah.
You know, the American way, right? Like you
Right.
um, but I will say that my computer,
That's okay, because yeah.
I have, although I keep switching out parts and whatnot, I started building this PC when I was 12 years old. And since then, I've just been continually like swapping out parts. And it's been a big part of my life, right? It gave me my career.
It did, yeah. This is for anyone who has a mind or likes this, you're setting yourself up for success.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much easier than and I'm not dissing it for anyone who's doing this, but then a communication Bachelor of Arts major. I'm just saying it's a different field. Anyway, go on.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a different field, but you also have to like it was something I wanted to do since I was that young, right? As soon as I built the computer, I was like, oh man, like I got involved by playing video games, and then I was like, oh, I want to automate these video games. I need to learn how to code, and then it was just snowballed from there. And like that was what I did, and I every single day. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess that
makes sense. And you built your own. You're one of those.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, very talented. Not that sounded bad. That's a.
It's easier than you.
A good thing.
Like, literally anybody can do it. If you look at YouTube videos, they're like 5 minutes long. It just tells you, it's like Legos, right? You just plug stuff in and you're done.
It's probably true. I was reading this book lately of don't doubt yourself with that you can do it, even if you think you can. Even with math, which I always think I can't do it, but the author had a point, because I actually made it through calculus. I made it through like the highest level of math for like high school, and I was always like, I'm terrible at math. And I think I kept telling myself.
You didn't have to do any math in college then?
I did. I had to take stats.
Stats sucks.
Yes, it was hard, and I had to take like 2 basic type math classes. Again, I just forget what, like Bachelor of Arts, you had to. And those were fine, actually. Then I had to take, for comm specifically, like another stats for comm, basically. But there's a lot of stats focus. I did okay.
Yeah.
But I told my professor, I was like, because I spoke at my school, which, by the way, happy to speak again. Santa or you. I'm happy to go back. You haven't asked me since.
Yeah, would you speak?
This is back in 2010, I think, or 11. Maybe it's 2011. It was just like because I was in the Communication Honor Society, and they wanted people to come in and speak about what are you doing after college. So I talked about working at Google, which I was doing at the time, and I was at YouTube at the time. So I spoke about that, and it was exciting and fun, and I would do it again. I reached out to the university. I'm like, I'm happy to speak whenever. So I'm just waiting for that. Yeah, no response. But after they see this channel, yeah. What was the question? Maybe this is why I'm not a host.
Most
prized. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Prized possession. Yeah.
My most so I cheated and thought about this. I have a boring answer too, because if it came down to it, okay. So I love, as I mentioned, video. I like taking pictures. I basically capturing memory. Basically, the fun with friends and family moments. The best pinnacle of life. And so I love doing that. And so it's like should I say my DSLRs, so that it's a little different than my phone, because my phone is just like everybody says that.
Yeah, but if you say DSLR, that's fancy.
I know it is, and it's like, but then I was like, you know what though? But if push came to shove, it would be my phone, because I'm able to record with it. I'm able to actually do all the like other things with it too, and then I can post to Instagram quickly on it. It's not like I can't do that with the DSLRs in my computer, but there's like additional equipment needed.
Right.
So I'm gonna be very boring and say my phone, but like most strongly, like the thing I care about the most is the camera. But it's a boring answer nonetheless. But cameras, come on.
A little boring. But
it has to be. Yeah, this is what I like to do.
It is impressive, like, to think that it's a very recent occurrence, but now like we have such a strong dependence on it.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's just
It's so bad. I check mine way too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think everyone should like have this personal like check on themselves. Like, are they using like social media too much?
Yes.
Like I stopped using Facebook like five years ago at least. The only reason why I haven't deleted my Facebook account is because my wife has said that she doesn't want to be married to nobody because if I delete my account, it just I guess it doesn't even remove my name. It just like
Yeah.
deletes the link into my profile or something. But
Okay. Oh, but who cares?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Delete
at
it.
the point now.
Delete it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Tell her I
literally
did it.
haven't
I'm already in
logged
trouble.
for forever. But yeah, I think everyone just needs like to have that sense of,
Yeah.
I guess, the role that it should play and the amount that it's being used. It's moderation.
It is. But it's so funny how dependent. And then I was riding my bike today, and this car pulled out, and I waited for her to pull out because she was getting into the street. And I was like, I'll just wait for her to just fully clear the street. She just sat at the stop, and I was kind of stuck behind her because there was a car parked, like two cars parked. So I'm kind of just waiting. I'm like, you're clearly looking at your phone because there's no cars coming on the street. And when I passed her, I'm like, try not to look when you're driving, even at a stop on a small street.
Driving cars because people are
just no one's paying attention, and it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
A little PSA. Anyway, well, you know what? This was great talking to you again. I know I said I wouldn't be your friend if you if you didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is pretty contingent, but I am surprised that I got a second chance because I do have to say we scheduled this for a different day.
We did.
And on that day, I did not answer the 5 Skype calls that I got.
I was honestly like, you know what? I'll just keep trying because, you know, I've put these lights up. I have everything ready. Let's just try it. But then
I could picture you at your desk, so ready. Like you've got your cards, right? You've got your cards of questions.
I did.
The lights up. Everything's ready.
It was.
Recording software open.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't pick up.
Yeah.
And it's just shame, disappointment.
Oh my God. Yes. Why are we friends?
But yeah. Why? Yeah, I asked myself the same question.
Yeah. Do you? Like crying. No, it was fine. It happens. And just like how I'm a great director of my comedy videos, I was very understanding. All I said was, if you don't make it to the next one, I will not be friends with you anymore. And look, you made it. You were the one who called me today.
I appreciate that, boss. I really
yeah.
That.
And like I said, you'll get your paycheck soon. But anyway, thank you, Nate, again. Great conversation. We are just on fire, I would say. I hope you get your farm. Maybe we can do a video there one day.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Maybe get a Twitch one day because I could just pitch your stuff after that too. I'd be like, follow Nate at, but you're almost nobody, as we just said. So
yeah,
I can't even pitch anything. But I will say you could follow Nate on my channels again. I'll pitch those. J Brandt Productions for great comedy videos and great comedy acting from a community theater actor that I did not know until tonight. And I forgot my vlog channel, John Brandt Vlogs. This is why I didn't make it in broadcasting.
I mean, if they're watching this video, don't they already know about your vlog channel?
That's true. But subscribe. This could be new, right?
Click
Maybe
the bell.
Hit the notification.
Yeah,
hit that subscribe.
Smash that.
Pound that notification. I don't have a TikTok. I'm officially too old. So I don't. So sorry. Anyone wondering? All right. On that note, I'll end the recording. Hey, don't hang up yet.
Pressing the big red button now.